Today I wanted to talk to you about a game I recently picked up. I tested this game in the demo mode, and I'm friends with the dev on Discord, and it's just a wonderfully peaceful game. If you aren't familiar with the game is called SokoChess. The game is a wonderful take on, of course, the regular board game of chess. It's made by Daisy Games. These are some of their team members. It runs on the Go.Dot game engine. Very smooth, not very buggy, doesn't take a lot to run. They have a wonderful music repertoire at their disposal, all of which is royalty free, so you're welcome to record or stream using this. I will say sometimes Twitch picks up one specific song in here and it says it's copywritten, but I haven't had any trouble appealing it in the past, so it shouldn't be an issue for you in the future. These were some of the testers that helped put the game together and see that it worked. And it's just a beautiful game. It's very interactive. If you see my mouse here, when I move the mouse on the screen, they have a multiple layered UI. The audio itself, beautiful. And let me just show you what some of the levels look like, just for an example. We'll start off with level number 1. So here, you can see the left mouse button is pressed to select the rook, or to select whatever piece you're going to be playing with. In level 1, it's just a rook. And the right mouse button deselects it. Now you can either deselect it on the rook itself, or you can deselect it anywhere else on the page. Anywhere else works. You can go up here, you can go up here, nothing stops you. To beat the level, you want to push the black pawns into their destination, or just the enemy pieces as the black pieces. You play as the white piece, and like I said earlier, this is a game that takes a beautiful look at the game of chess and changes it just a little bit. Because in the regular game of chess, what you do is you try to capture pieces. And in this game, you try to move them into a designated square. And you play on a regular chessboard, but as you can see, it's a little bit modified. You have some limited squares to move around on. You can't just move anywhere you like. Each level is different. Each level presents you with a different piece to play with, or multiple pieces, and multiple enemy pieces and designated puzzles. This is just a beautiful, beautiful puzzle game. And like I said, just like in the regular game of chess, the pieces that you were given and the enemy pieces all have their same designated abilities. So pawns can only move in one direction. They attack diagonally. The rooks can move horizontally and vertically, and they can move as far as they'd like. As an example, we'll move this pawn into his designated square now. Makes that beautiful snapping noise. We'll go over here and do the same here. And that's for level 1 finished. Let's check out level number 2. Now, as I presented earlier, these can move as far as they like, but also, like I said earlier, the enemy pieces also have their abilities. So if I were to move here, this pawn would take out my rook. Oh no, failure. In the event that happens, you have both an undo button and a reset button. If you choose to undo, it will only undo your previous move. And now I'm back to the move right before that. If I hit undo again, it'll take me back to here. And if I do it again, it'll take me all the way back here. And then all the way back here. It will undo every single move you've made. It won't undo anything else beyond that. I mean, you can't go back to the other levels. In order to do that, you'd have to level select. But if in the event that you die, we'll say, you wish to undo, you can either undo or you can restart entirely, and it'll immediately take you back here to the very, very beginning of this level. It's a beautiful take. It's super. It rewards. It incentivizes patience and learning. Like I said earlier, the game was actually tested. I myself played the demo, and it was a beautiful demo, but I made sure to see that, oh yes, all of the levels are actually beatable. So there may be levels in the future where you're like, I don't know if I can beat it. Trust me, you can. It's doable. It might be a little hard at first. You might do something like this. You go, oh no. And then you might think, okay, I need to move him. Oh no. So it's a pretty clever game. But not to worry. Every puzzle is solvable. I'll show you a more advanced advanced puzzle now for some of the other examples. We'll start with, we'll go to 23 and see. So later on down the line, like I said, you get other pieces besides the rook. You do get to play with some pawns, you do get to play with some bishops, you do get to play with some knights, and I think eventually even farther down the line you play with kings and queens. I haven't played with them yet, I don't believe, at least not the king. I think I've played with a queen once, but it was for one level and one level only. But it's levels like these where it's just... That's what your knight does. It swaps places. So it's just it's a wonderful game. There's not really much else for me to say besides that I really enjoy it, and I sincerely hope that you do as well. Yeah, so it's just beautiful levels like that. They get really, really complex later on. So complex, in fact, that some of them I've had to skip. I've had to skip 25, 29, and 32. It just gets more and more complex. And you'll notice with every level, there is a different color. Blue here. Go to 17. Teal. I guess turquoise. Orange, green, my favorite, of course. But overall, it is just a beautiful, beautiful game. If you look at our settings, they have music, they have sound, they have the master volume. I have the music off while I'm recording just the voice audio for this review. But I've also recorded the music separately, so you'll get to hear some of the tracks, you know, as you've already heard throughout the video. So that's their audio, their display. They have many different modes. They have windowed, full screen, borderless. Right now I'm playing on windowed mode. They have multiple FPS limits. I prefer the 60 FPS. Game background darkness, I'm not entirely sure what that does. I don't know, actually, what that does. Doesn't seem to have a change. I'm not sure what that does. But as for the rest of the settings for the display, you can turn particles on or off, the screen shake whenever you mess up. They support all of these resolutions, which is wonderful because I know many people play on laptops or PCs, dual monitor setups, really long 4K screens, so they have all of these resolutions available for you. As far as the controls, these are your typical controls. You can hotkey any of these you'd like. I can set that to O or whatever I'd like. I can set it to U. For undo, restart is R. They're all, it's totally button mapped. You can do whatever you'd like. Which is one of the most wonderful things in games, is allowing button mapping. Most games don't do that for controls. They have preset controls, and on a PC, you should really be able to button map. So I'm glad they have that. They have all of this, the undo button show, the menu button show. These are all just UI or I guess the HUD icons, whether or not you want them to be shown. They have 4 different languages: English, Spanish, Polish, and I believe Czech. And so if you happen to speak any of those 4 languages, you're good to go. I think they might be coming out with more languages in the future, and maybe in a few updates, but I believe this is what the testers all speak and the devs all speak this. So these are the 4 that they decided to go with right off the bat. And it's just a beautiful game. They have many achievements. I have a lot of these already. There's at least 70 levels, and I think right now that's all there is. But I've heard from one of the game creators that they're looking to come out with some DLC with some future levels. I've only ever made it to like level 32, I believe. But yeah, welcome. This is SokoChess. We'll take another look at this credit screen real quick. SokoChess, beautiful. Like I said, Daisy Games is the company that made it. These are their members. Daisy the dog, beautiful. They use the Godot game engine. which I encourage you to look up and test out yourself if you haven't done so already. These are some of the tracks that they've heard. I believe the one we've heard was the very top of the list. It's their custom track for the game right off the bat. These are some of the plugins. And like I said, this game is available on Steam for, I believe, only $5. So I would most definitely recommend getting it for you or a friend. If you have any friends that love puzzle games, this is definitely the game for you. I would definitely recommend it. That is SokoChess, everybody. Thanks for watching. And this has been one of Wedji's Game Reviews.